Hey, JB Gwaltney and Matt Burtz.
What up?
Hey, I'm Kyle Hilliard, and a new Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer came out today, which is exciting. Let's get into it because it immediately blew up our inter-office chat system Slack, where we were all just theorizing about where it takes place and what's happening and who are these characters and all that kind of stuff. So and Burtz, you went through the trailer like frame by frame and dug out what you could, and now we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
So, I mean, what you literally have a list with you. What's the first thing you want to dig into?
So, coming out of the trailer that came out last October 2016, before the delay and everything, we had a sense it was probably taking place before, at least some of the game is going to take place before the events of Red Dead Redemption. And that really seemed to come true because Dutch Vanderlyn, the head of the gang that John Marston used to be in, and one of his targets, the Marked Men he had to hunt down during Red Dead Redemption, we saw him fall off a cliff and be laying there in a pool of blood, and then the agent Edgar Ross shot him in the head too, so he was dead.
Yeah, we're like 99% sure that he is dead.
Unless they're pulling some like Scooby-Doo, like that was a different person kind of a death, and he miraculously escaped. Like, because Dutch is in this trailer, we're pretty convinced at least some of this story is going to be a prequel.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you agree, Jabe? Do you think it's a prequel?
Yeah. But I am a firm believer in the time hopping theory that we had in our discussion, where it bounces around time periods because we see a woman later on, and I'm pretty sure that's Bonnie.
Yeah, they don't say her name in the trailer.
They do not say her name.
And who knows if it's the same voice actress or anything like that. But I mean, it looks like her.
Yeah,
it looks like
an
new
older
gen version of Bonnie.
Yeah, it looks and sounds like an older Bonnie to me.
Yeah, she's seen some shit.
Yeah, and a lot of people I noticed were like, "Oh, that's Abigail," because this is a prequel, like on the internet and stuff. It's like, no, because if you go back and you actually look at Abigail,
and Abigail is
Marston's wife, who was also with the gang before the events of the original Red Dead. She looks nothing like that. Like,
they have different color hair and eyes.
Yeah, that is not even a person she could age into. Like, that's no.
Yeah,
hair dye wasn't invented yet. Is that what you said?
I don't think contacts were either. So there's also the other sort of time hopping thing that comes up is there's a scene where what's the new protagonist's name?
Arthur Morgan.
Yeah, Arthur Morgan. Or I say protagonist. We just know he's an important character. We don't know if you probably play as him. We're not 100% certain.
Well, we're not sure you only play as him. If you do,
yes.
The YouTube thing that Rockstar had up said that it explicitly follows the story of Arthur Morgan. So there's a lot to suggest there that he's at least the protagonist, or the Michael of the group, I guess.
Maybe the lead protagonist.
Yeah, the guy who gets the most screen time.
He's kind of a badass. I mean, we see him threaten two people right out of the gate.
With accounting. Who threatens someone with accounting?
Well, it's a threat to me when someone brings
Besides
up
Ben
accounting.
Affleck,
I mean, it's a classic mafia thing. You owe your loan shark money, and we're coming to collect.
I like that he threatens a hobo in the mountains first. By eating his soup.
He seems like a guy that gets sent out to pick up money that hasn't been accounted for. He finds this guy, the hobo, that he starts drinking his soup, and he's like, "Your name's on the ledger, dude. You owe us some money."
Oh yeah, that's a loan shark.
Not word for word.
And he wasn't a named guy. Like, if you look back at all the gang members from Red Dead Redemption, you had Dutch Vanderlyn, you had Bill Williamson, who's in multiple shots in this. He's got that signature. One of the bills of his hat is up.
Yeah, he's not explicitly shown. There's not any close-ups of him, but you
see him a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Javier Escuela, who we haven't seen yet. At least I don't think so, unless he has a different look in the game. There's no mention of Arthur Morgan in that first game that I remember.
Yeah, I immediately Googled the name, was looking on Red Dead wikis and stuff like that. It didn't come up. Yeah. Maybe he's in there somewhere in a newspaper article or something, but as far as I think we can tell, I don't think he's been mentioned.
Yeah, it reinforces that theory that he's more of a lone agent that works with Dutch.
Yeah, and there were some people who were talking about maybe this is sort of a thing where Arthur Morgan becomes John Marston, but again, they look nothing alike at all.
And Marston was raised in an orphanage, and he grew up with the gang basically.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. That does make me curious though, if that kid that we see Morgan talking to and vaguely threatening might be Marston. I don't know.
Yeah, that's to kind of circle back to another maybe this is time hopping, is he's talking to a kid that my first thought was I think that's Marston's son. Not after Red Dead, but before the epilogue of Red Dead.
Right.
You have a good picture of him where you put him side by side with the character model, and it's it could maybe be him, but it could be a young Marston, which seems a little odd because I don't think Marston ever would have been dressed that nicely as a child.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's
hard
confusing.
because it's a white kid with brown hair. It's just
Who
And
has
he
a similar
happens-
shirt.
He
Yeah.
happens to be dressed similarly to Marston's son,
Yeah.
which is the big that's not really a great way to say like, oh, that's definitely that character. You
and
know,
the shot
but-
before that is the woman mourning at the grave. But I saw some people say maybe that's Abigail Marston after John's killed in the end of the first game. But we really, it's not. We know
No.
that. We went back. We watched the tape. Like he's buried more
We checked
on
the tape.
Yeah, we checked the tape. We went back. He was buried on their ranch.
Yeah,
he was not buried in a graveyard. So.
Yeah. And then there was that
theory
whole
doesn't work
zombie
either.
thing that happened, and we don't even know.
We
how
don't
that
need to
plays
go
out.
there.
But there's also gameplay details in this too. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw a bow and arrow, which is a thing that
That's
everybody
new.
wanted in Red Dead. It looks like it's there.
A
Hunting.
first for, I mean, not even in GTA have we ever had a bow and arrow, have we? That's a tough thing to say considering how.
No,
many
it was in
weapons
the
are.
original Red Dead multiplayer. It came to
Okay,
the multiplayer.
the multiplayer, but
Yeah.
but in the core game we've never
Yeah.
held.
We
bow
saw
and
people wading through water, like a bayou
Mm-hmm.
water. So that kind of indicates that swimming might be there, which
That's-
wasn't in the first game as well.
and that also indicates location too,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
we're looking at maybe kind of the Louisiana area of the United States.
Definitely swamp territory. Yeah, we saw the plantation that's burning that looks like deep south.
We're going back south, Kyle.
Finally,
I'm so excited.
I mean, it's only been a couple months since Resident Evil 7, so
Woo!
And like I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorite things about GTA 5 was how they blew out heists to be like these
Yeah.
big signature scripted missions. We saw a train get stopped by the gang, and we also saw Morgan break into a bank holding the teller at gunpoint to open the vault.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that we're going to see some of that more crafted experience heist stuff too in this game.
Yeah, I really would love to like just have, because I think I honestly my favorite part of Grand Theft Auto 5 wasn't even doing the heist, it was planning them
Mhm.
and going to gather like the materials and stuff. Like that was honestly really fun and interesting to like have that multi-tier setup. And I'd love to do that again for this. Like, just go get dynamite out of a mine while, another character goes and gets disguises or something. Like that's really cool. I love that prep. So I hope I'm in agreement. I hope we get to see more of that.
yeah. And I mean, there's been teases for, I think in the description on YouTube they said something about multiplayer experiences.
Oh, there'll definitely be a
yeah.
shared world experience. There's
Yeah.
no way they'd walk away given the success of GTA Online.
And then
I mean, that game still sells every month because of that online component.
Yeah.
And
like
the first-
really well.
the first posters for Red Dead like highlighted multiple characters. So I mean, it seems like a pretty strongly leaning towards the idea of getting together with friends and pulling off heists in the Old West, which I guess that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess I'll rob a train.
hmm
Yeah, I'm really curious. The other thing I liked about this trailer is that we've seen so much diversity in the environments that you're going to visit. We mentioned the bayou.
Mhm.
We also saw a snowy mountain range. I don't know if that means there's seasons, that could kind of move forward as the story progresses, or if they just have a mountainous region that's always snowy.
Yeah,
We've seen prairies. We've seen really dense forests with like winding rivers running through them.
and all kinds of new animals too. Like
Right.
they highlighted an alligator or a crocodile. I guess it'd be an
Alligator would
alligator,
be
right?
New Orleans
Yeah,
area.
eating a
probably.
pig. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Wild
seem to
boar.
have their own like habitats, like where they're actually like responding to the environment too, where animals will chase other animals and eat them and
Yeah,
stuff,
we've
which
seen
is
that
cool.
with the crow picking at the dead carcass in the first trailer, and you see that here with the pig being attacked.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like there's an ecosystem at play that you as a predator can disrupt in
Yeah.
any way, or you can use it to your advantage.
Right.
Like maybe you can drop a body there for the gators.
Like Mafia 3 style, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or you could use the train tracks to kill people in Red Dead. That
Yeah.
was kind of more of an emergent storytelling thing. Like that, using the environment to your benefit for that kind of stuff. Seems like it's
Just like
definitely in
making
play.
sure someone gets caught up with a bear,
Yeah.
Like bear was another. I mean, bears were in the first one, but they also they took time to highlight a bear in the trailer.
You got to
as
have
well.
bears.
Yeah,
Got it, bears.
They're badasses.
they're pretty great.
Yeah. What else? Was there anything else that stood out from the trailer for you guys as like being moments worth highlighting?
Man, I know this is like a minor thing, but I really love the lighting. Like in this game, like just like every time the camera pans over to some guy standing in like or standing around in a mask at night and there's a fire behind him, like that's the first time in a long time I've seen like lighting in a video game and gone, wow, that looks not even realistic. It just looks very cool.
It definitely sells that idea of like this is Rockstar's first like current gen game.
Oh God, yes.
Like it looks like a game that's Xbox One, PS4.
Mm.
Like even Grand Theft Auto 5 looked great, but it was a port,
yeah.
from the previous generation.
Yeah,
So,
pretty significantly overhauled one, but yeah, nonetheless, like that game started all that technology's based
Yeah,
on
even-
this 360
I mean,
era.
yeah, even when that game came out on PS3 and Xbox 360, it looked like better than the majority of games that came out on the next generation for like a year. Like it's incredible what they do and how they get it to run well. Like that just blows my mind.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of just Morgan in general? Like, are you excited to play as him? Are you a little turned off by him?
I'm of two minds of it. Like I kind of agree with the general sentiment I've seen where people are like, oh, he's way different from John Marston, because a lot of the reason people love the story in Red Dead Redemption is because Marston stood out from the rest of Rockstar's, anti-heroes. Like, he was a genuinely good dude with a shitty past, and you could make choices and like try and steer him in one direction to doing the right thing, and he actually like wanted to start a new life, and he was very sympathetic, and even at his worst moments he was still kind of nice. Whereas this guy, and again, this is like what, a 2-minute trailer, so we don't have much context outside of like he's walking around threatening people with like, again, accounting phrases. I still can't get over. And he's kind of menacing, but that's not enough to build an interpretation off of. Like when the original Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer dropped, like I still didn't know what to make of those characters until I played as them.
Of course.
And especially the depth that Rockstar tries to impart to their main characters. You're not really going to get a sense of that through this trailer. So I really hesitate to even have an opinion at this point. Like,
sure.
I'm just stoked for this game. I've been waiting for a true next-gen Rockstar game for a long time. We're well into this generation. And clearly GTA 5 being as successful as it's been has given them more time to, make sure that this game's in the position where they want it to be.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see more about this game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, perhaps it looks awesome, and I really want to play it. It's I'm not too heartbroken that it's been delayed this year, because this year's been insane.
Oh yeah,
but I can't wait. Do they have a window? Do they have
a
window?
It's this spring. It didn't move. A lot of people thought they'd move the release date again. They did not. They're sticking to spring. So
spring
that's a good
2018.
Sign. Yep.
Xbox One, PS4.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, that's a good breakdown of the trailer, and if you prefer a written version of it, Bert's has a good one on the site with screenshots and everything. So, yeah, I think we're all pretty excited for Red Dead Redemption 2.